Welcome to yet another edition of Nights with Ricky. I am your host, Ricky Reeves, and tonight I'm going to talk about sexual intelligence can corrupt emotional intelligence. And I'll get right into it. It can easily corrupt emotional intelligence. Intelligence can easily corrupt emotional intelligence. First off, it's not that difficult to have great sex. It really isn't. If you paid attention in sex education and you paid attention very well and you did your research and you looked into things, different books, videos, whatnot, you can have great sex. And the problem is that there's a lot, and I'm going to speak it from a male to a female perspective. A lot of women, their emotional intelligence is just terrible. It's like so low, it's insane. They could be book smart, street smart. They could do all these things smart. But if you ever notice, the type of males that they choose are always a male that they say they would not even want. Yet that's what they end up investing in. And to me, the answer is their sexual intelligence got corrupted and it corrupted their emotional intelligence. Somebody who is dumb as rocks can possess a high level of sexual intelligence. And if this person has a high level of sexual intelligence, they could maneuver and mislead a lot of different people in society. You know, for instance, a porn star. You do not have to be too smart to be a porn star. But if you got high sexual intelligence, oh, you can make tons of money in that industry. And just because, you're making tons of money doesn't mean that it's always invested well. There's very few, far in between success stories in that field where people have invested well and everything like that. I can name a few, like Heather Hunter has done pretty well for herself. Lisa Ann, she does pretty well. But, Lisa Ann has to keep going back and forth in between. I think she was trying to do a podcast and stuff like that. But, those are pretty like successful ones. I think Lexington Steele, he was like in Wall Street before. That's pretty successful. And that was, he ain't even dumb at all for you to be working on Wall Street. He just wanted to do that. But anyway, back to the subject at hand. But you could be dumb like rocks. But if you have high sexual intelligence, you can maneuver in this world very well. Another thing is that women tend to always get intimacy confused. They say they know how to separate the two between fucking and making love, but I don't think they do at all. From all my experiences here on this earth for 39 years, and definitely for like the last 21 plus years of dealing with women in relationships, sexually, or whether, serious relationships, whatever. That emotional intelligence is really, really low for, I'll say, at least 90% of women. At least. I think 10% got it kind of figured out. And I came across a few of those type of women before, but I'll say 90% of women don't have this figured out at all. And if you sleep, this is just from a male to female, if you sleep with a male who has high sexual intelligence and he's got high emotional intelligence, it's a dangerous man to be sleeping with. And you're gonna be put through the ringer with that man. He's gonna stress you out. He's gonna be doing things that you didn't even think you would want to even do. And it's just gonna be a whole bunch of just dysfunction and chaos for you for the rest of your days. If you get with these type of men that are very intelligent in those levels. Because you could be dumb as book smarts, dumb with street smarts, but if you got those two things, you still can maneuver in this world. Don't think you can't have one without the other and not be able to maneuver. It always works out for everyone. You can maneuver in this world. You will find ways to maneuver in this world. Everyone does. And I think with the sexual intelligence, it just corrupts a female's emotional intelligence because they're just putting too much into it. If it's just sex, don't put too much of your emotions into just sex. Don't put too much of your emotions into it. If you say you can separate the two, because once you start putting your emotions into a sexual experience and it was supposed to be just sex, it's corrupting your emotional intelligence. And then you're going to be making very, very stupid and dumb decisions that'll even shock yourself of what you're doing. And that's why I said I'm starting to believe emotional intelligence is more important than having a high IQ and all that stuff in between. Because being in control of your emotions, I think, is the most powerful thing in the world. When you have the power and the ability not to react to ignorance, it's nothing like that in the world. Nothing. And I think a lot of women need to look into that more and really, really pay attention to that kind of stuff. You know, like, I would just suggest all women out there, if you feel like your emotional intelligence is really low, go ahead and take a look and do those things and do a lot of research and do a lot of, just different things that you could do to make everything better. Until next time, peace.